Well, that's what I was about to get to. You say you're bold. A lot of the people that like you on Twitter or don't like you on Twitter in the boxing world, it's for very similar reasons because you speak your mind and you stand up and you say, this is not right. This is not a pay-per-view fight. This doesn't warrant that. And fans of, let's say, Spence and Fulton, these, PBC fans, or whatever they're called, they make a lot of people, I feel like, dislike Spence and Fulton when Spence and Fulton, they don't act the way that their fans act, but they get a lot of the negativity because of that. Do you feel that way?
Well, they don't like me, period. They say that I'm racist, I'm this, I'm that, and this and that, and I'm not really in boxing. I just say I am. It's just all kinds of lies. It's just nuts. I mean,
Right.
if with all their lies that they tell, if I knew about all those lies on the internet, I saw all of them, I'd spent all day, 24 hours a day rebutting that stupidity. I've been in the boxing business 32 years. This is 1990. I'm in the New York State Boxing Hall of Fame. I'm an elector at Canastota, and
Yep.
the big Hall of Fame. I mean, I'm not in boxing. I've been an expert witness in 34 boxing cases. I'm proclaimed in U.S. federal court as an expert witness. That's not even in dispute. I don't need, okay. I broker deals every single day. I've done 4 deals today. I mean, these guys just don't get it. Put it this way to you. My wife's driving around in a 2023 brand new S500 Mercedes we got December 31st. And I'm not bragging. I'm just explaining. My wife's wearing a brand new Rolex. I got her in February for Valentine's Day. Well, okay, a diamond up Rolex, brand new. Okay, we've been we go to New York. My wife, my go to Beverly Hills. My wife shops on Rodeo Drive at the finest stores, Bulgari, Louis Vuitton, Ferragamo, whatever, Gucci. She goes to Fifth Avenue, New York, does the same thing. She goes to Boca Raton in Florida and shops at the Town Center Mall at Neiman Marcus and Saks. We live like kings, all because of boxing. We live like kings and queens, and it's and these guys just don't get it. They just don't. They just don't understand. They said I never met Al Haymon. I've dined with Al Haymon twice. I like to buy back my introduction, but I dined with him twice. I did business with him 21 years ago, 22 years ago. We did, and I can't stomach the guy. He's not a good guy. Fuck him. But they say that I don't even know him. He doesn't know who I am. He's never heard of me. Oh my! It's just stupidity. As Don King said it best, if in the world, if you say you're in professional boxing and you've never heard of Rick Glaser, you're not in professional boxing. You only think you are.
Right. And Al Haymon doesn't do interviews anyway, so he's never going to acknowledge it. But I really also was saying that a lot of people, they don't like Spence or Fulton because of the fact that their fans are so disrespectful and annoying
Yeah,
when the fighters are
a
actually
lot of
humble.
people. Actually, a lot of people in the business feel that way about Spencer and Fulton, and the PBC fighters, that their fans are so obnoxious, rude on Twitter, that they just like look the other way and say, fuck, I want them to lose just because
Right.
those people are rooting for those fighters. It's true. People say to me, how come I'm on, if I'm this like guy, I says, I'm like any other guy. I put my pants on every day the same way anybody else does. I'm a real person. People say, oh, if you were standing in front of Al Haymon or Sam Watson, you wouldn't say that. I wouldn't. I guess you don't know me. Okay.
Right.
So I'm a guy that walked in 3 times into the room with real live top mobsters, mafia guys 3 times in sit downs when I was younger, and lived to tell all three. Okay, talk about all three. Everybody else is dead now. They've all died off. Of course, this is like in the late '80s. In the late '80s, from '87 to what, '90? I guess '90. I guess it was. But anyways, to make a long story short, I mean, I'm a very bold guy. That's how and I'm able to make a living partly because I am bold. My knowledge of boxing, I'm streetwise. I tell it like it is. There's nothing around me that's faint to heart.
Right. And I think that they're like people were saying, like, oh, Fulton, he got humbled. Like, Fulton was always a humble guy, but their fans just, they make it where a lot of people want to see them lose just to shut up the fans. And it's, in some ways, it's like hard for like the fighters, but it really is. I like that you stand up for the consumer because these pay-per-view fights, like the one that we just saw with Crawford and Spence, That was $90, and like
Listen,
to some
I'm going to
people,
put it
that's a
like
lot of
this.
money.
Despite being a Republican that I do believe I do stand up for the consumer because I don't want to see people get ripped off and
Right,
get taken advantage of. You know how many people call me up before they're going to buy a pay-per-view, or they hit me up on text, call me, direct message, inbox, whatever, some kind of communication. They say, Rick, is this fight worth buying? Should I spend $75, $80, $85 for this fight? Bah, bah, bah. And I tell them what the truth is. I said the undercard is better than the main event. You want to buy it for the undercard, buy it, but don't consider the main event a good fight. I've said that multiple times to people. Tell them, yes, the main event's good, but the undercard sucks. I just tell
right,
people like it is, and people get offended because I tell the truth. I said, what do you want me to lie to you and feed you shit and keep you in the dark and treat you like a mushroom? I'm not doing that. That's not my style. My style is I'm a straight up guy. I've been so they said, well, you were convicted for racket, for domino rollbacks. I was not convicted for domino rollbacks. I was convicted of mail fraud. Okay. And I got indicted for racketeering and everything else like that. The actual rollback dominoes, they threw those charges out. The truth of the matter is that was then. This is now. I
right,
was in my 20s, for Christ's sake, at the time. Okay, I'm fucking 65 years old now. I've ever been since I got in boxing, I've been totally straight. There's some kind of boxing winky that says I rob fighters. Fighters are not my clients. The promoters are my clients. These
right.
fucking idiots. Where do they come up with this shit? I broker deals for promoters, not for fighters. Continue.